Hey YouTube people, today we have an interesting solar panel here. Yes, this is a solar panel. This is an interesting design concept. These were made like in the, I don't know, maybe 2010, 2011 era. But they are cylindrical tubes that have film in them, solar thin film in the tubes. This one panel right here is it's about it's a 157 watt panel, and it was manufactured by a company called Solyndra. But these were designed to go on top of industrial buildings and just laid flat, and and they had mounts that just were about a foot off the ground, or well, off the roof. And since they're cylindrical, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to angle them; they can just sit flat because the angle of the sun will hit, any side of this tube. The other design idea is that these gaps in between, it's kind of like a bifacial, so the light that filters through these gaps is supposed to reflect back. Now, I'm not going to get a lot of reflection on this grass, but I just wanted to plug it in and test it out. So I got it plugged in. Let's see what we're pulling. Okay, so with it laying pretty much maybe 4 inches off the grass, we're producing close to 80 watts, 78, 79, 81. So roughly 80 watts out of the rated 157. So we're only getting 80 basically because it's laying on 4 inches off the ground and on the green grass that doesn't do such a great job at reflecting back. So I guess let's play around. I want to move this over to my deck, my pool deck, and I want to see if we increase the power output. Be right back. Alright, so I moved it over to the pool deck, and now it's on something a little more reflective than the grass. And these panels are like 90 something volts open circuit. One of the kind of cool things is that each one of these tubes is a complete 90 something volt solar cell. So they're all in parallel. It's like if one of these was just shaded, the rest of the panel still produces just fine. It doesn't shading doesn't really affect these like they would other panels. But anyways, let's see what we're producing now that we're on the pool deck. All right, guys. So yeah, we only went up a little bit, 85, 88 watts. So we gained a few watts there. Interesting. So, I wonder how they rate these. I mean, because that's almost half the rating. So, did they rate them, for the full, front and back? Is that what they did? Interesting. I've got something really shiny, actually, I want to put underneath there and see what that does. Now, that would probably be really impractical in use, but I just want to see. Be right back. All right, guys. So this is like some solar barrier underlayment for like a roof, and sometimes they put it in attics. So I've just put it underneath this panel, and yeah, I guess we're, what do you think? 5 inches up off of it. Let's go see what it produces now. And that's blinding me. Whew. Oh yeah, a lot more. 104 105, just saw 105. Yeah, so this is really very bifacial. It needs reflectivity on the bottom to get the most out of it. I guess what I want to do now is see if I can raise it up to the 1 foot mark, because that's what the mounts that originally came with these, I think they're like one foot. So let's raise it up to 1 foot and see what we get. All right, guys. Whew. I think we're around about a foot off the ground. I didn't measure it, but I'm just eyeballing it. Looks about right. We got sun directly overhead, full sunshine. This should be the most ideal situation. We got this super shiny stuff underneath. Let's go see what we're producing. Yeah, we're still right around that 100 to 105. I think I just saw 104 mark. So going up to 1 foot off the ground didn't help. Really, the best we can get out of these is a little over 100 watts. That's what I'm showing here, and it's there's not a cloud in the sky, guys. This is absolutely ideal conditions. It's high noon. I don't think you can get much better than this. So these will do about 100 watts. These are about about 100 watts. Now, given the cool thing is, like, they're going to probably produce that kind of power longer throughout the day, right? So it's better if you had if you get a 100 watt panel, you're still not actually getting 100 watts. Those things only produce like 80 watts. They kind of, when they test them in like super absolute perfect conditions with a machine. So we're getting grandchildren. Basically, if you had a regular 100 watt panel, it's going to be angled to the sun, and it's not going to capture 80 to 100 watts the whole time, because it's not going to always be at the perfect angle. There's going to be like a really good point during the day that it's going to capture the most sun. The rest of it's going to be kind of not that great. This thing, in theory, should basically produce 100 watts, probably the most part of the day. I wouldn't say the whole duration of the day, but like it's going to capture more because it doesn't have to. It's not dependent on the angle. So what could you do with these? One thought would be like a pergola or something like that. Just note that if you're not going to have it over something really reflective, you're going to take a little bit of a hit on the power output. I can think of like a carport would be cool, because you're going to have it over your cement. Maybe your car is going to be kind of reflective and kind of help with this. And if you have an industrial building that has that kind of white kind of membrane roofing that's on those industrial flat top buildings, that's what these were designed for. So that would be absolutely perfect. They're designed to be completely toolless. You just really lay them. You need to get some things to lay it on, but the wind's not going to pick these up and launch them off your roof. They're actually quite heavy. I don't know how many pounds they are. We could look that up. But yeah, there's the wind loading is not an issue because they've got gaps in them. They're not going to become like a big wing and fly off your building. So my buddy Beene from Beene Energy has a ton of these, and he sells them for like $30 a piece. So for $30 for a pretty neat panel, you could do some cool projects with it. Check it out. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video.